We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car. That
Wait,
was another.
You got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of On the Delivery, episode number 3. I am your host, Dave. Let's go around the table because we have a very, very, very special guest joining us today. But first, guys, you know him, my co-host down in West by God, Virginia, Luke. How are you on this fine evening?
Well, I'll tell you that it felt good to hear the three berries for a guest again. I guess for this being episode 3, round 2, call it round 2 of episode 3. But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited to record, and it got some fun shit to talk about, got some crazy shit to talk about, but it is I'm amped and I'm excited to be here tonight. Happy fucking Friday. Sorry to say it. I know you won't probably listen to this on a Friday. I was about to say happy evening, but it's Friday. I'm not working tomorrow. Fucking ready.
Let's go. And guys, our very special guest that's joining us. He's always been behind the scenes previously with us, but now he's going to be front and center. The voice that Luke loves to hear. My cousin Nate. Nate, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. What's up, everybody?
Dude, we got his ass, man. This is the only time I was about to say this was all we would get was a sentence or two. And now we actually, it took till episode 118-ish or round 2 of episode 3, if you will, but I'm excited for this one.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. So Luke, how was your week, bud? How was what's going on?
Dude, I guess to start off with this, it's hard. I was thinking of how to go about this, but it's such a fucking elephant in the room I know the listeners, you're about to find out, but for me personally, we just showed Nate the video right before we got on. I showed Dave a little while ago in the day, but I'll just say I'm not going to get in too much to the history, but I'll just say there has been in recent years a little bit of kind of divide amongst the I don't want to say really a divide, like not a feud, but there's been people that have been kind of upset with how things have been handled in the area that I live in, the town of Monongah, which I'm technically not a resident of. I just have their utility bills, water and such. But there has been things going on with, like, I'm not going to get into, but I'd posted on Facebook about a church that Ashley and I got married in. That was there are some questionable things around the purchase of that, but that's a whole nother fucking issue. All this is kind of minute to what happened yesterday, and I don't even know how to start. I'll just, to say it bluntly, it was a town police incident going fucking terribly bad. I don't want to say terribly bad as far as nobody died, nobody got seriously injured. I can't say that nobody got injured at all because it's too fresh, but I don't know. I'll just go ahead and, for somebody that is, I told Dave it was something to try to explain doesn't do this justice. Now, this is just, I think what makes this different for me right now is because it's always like how the saying goes, like, till stuff hits home, you don't think about it quite as much. And then I just thought, like, what if this would have been Ashley? What if this would have been my sister, like Lindsay, my sister-in-law? What if this would have been so? I was like, the whole instance of how this went down. It, I, I'll just let you. You watched it. You're not from around here. Go ahead and
Yeah.
explain. Go ahead and
Yeah,
explain it real quick what you saw.
I mean, it was a situation that got handled
I'll fill in the
not
beginning,
properly at
but go
all.
ahead and fill them in.
Yeah, no, I mean the way this officer handled the situation was out of control. He was out of control with it. I mean, it's as simple as that. It was a routine traffic stop
For
that,
expired registration tags.
yeah, and the guy flips out and the wires cross and he loses his mind. It just seems like, and it's all on
Taps.
video.
Yeah, I had to show. So basically, to give a summary of what said the expired tag. So apparently, and when this gets released, there might be a whole lot of stuff that had happened.
Mhm.
And if people were curious, I will definitely fill you in. But there, it was so he had the expired tags, but I guess was being aggressive. She asked to see his badge number, and you, by law, don't have to give somebody your badge number, but you also don't get more pissed off. And apparently, from what I was told, uh, was hitting the side of the car with their fist, and they said, "Oh shit," and they took off, and they didn't take off far. When I say take off, they ran technically, but they went like 30 feet to where her mom lives. She was on the road that she lives on too, or where her mother, like she was right by her home. So she went up to her mother's house and fucking stopped and locked the car doors. And that's where Dave was saying, like, it opens up with a video with saying, if you don't unlock this door, I'm going to fucking shoot you. And he's got his gun out, fucking tapping on the window. And gets a mallet, axe, whatever you want to say, takes some swings, busts out. I mean, I could go on about this, but this is what I want to fucking say. I've been pulled over by this guy for, you guessed it, expired tags. And it was with my grandmother's car. And I have my I inherited my grandmother. It's a 97 Buick LeSabre that's still in great condition, but it's basically my work car. And I to give an explanation, I feel like, so I can say, well, I got pulled over. And this is what I told him, that it's still in my grandparents' name. So obviously they both passed on. But I said that she had passed away. We left the car because my family scattered about the U.S. So the car was there for a long time for people when they came in, to settle the affairs and get the house ready and all that stuff, to have the car to move around. So I didn't have it the whole time since she's been gone, but he wanted to know if I had insurance for it. And I just switched the insurance over to my car because hers was still on State Farm until like a couple months prior to that. And I got it switched. I didn't have the card in it. So I tried to call, long story short, at the end of it, I got the policy number and told him, and all it was, it was okay. But he said, he's like, yeah, you need to keep some. You need to have proof of insurance because I can arrest you for that. And I remember thinking in my mind, like, ooh, that seems a little harsh. But I told Ashley, I was like, what the fuck would I have done? What would he would have shot me if I would have been like, said something smart ass that crossed his wires in? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm 6'1", fucking 250. That's totaled a car with my body and could still punch. Like, I'm not a fucking, I would be a threatening presence in somebody's eyes. So I was like, God, he would fucking have killed me. I was like, he would just probably shot me on the spot. But anyways, I wanted to fucking get that out. I don't know. You saw that, Nate. You don't have to get into it, but was it pretty fucking mind blowing on your end just to have a third consensus?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, I kind of wish there was more to the video. I wanted to see more of the beginning where he was punching the hood, you said.
That's the part that will be the conjecture of the probably he said she said,
Yeah.
but because conveniently he doesn't
He
have a
doesn't have
body
the.
camera,
Yeah.
so
He's wearing a fucking t-shirt.
well that
He's
too,
wearing
but
like what kind of uniform is that, bro? He's wearing like a t-shirt with like camo pants and like there's no way anybody would take this guy seriously.
that's the uniform of a man that fucking has no problem fucking doing what he did. And that my the only thing I want to end on this with, and I god dang it, if I get emotional, I wear my heart on my sleeve on this. So if I get emotional, just I would just say bear with me. I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. But man, my grandfather was a career police officer, and he passed away in 1998. So I was like 13 years old. So I wasn't an adult yet. I didn't, I was, I was like in eighth grade. I was a few months away from being 14. I was a kid. So I didn't really talk life with him as like adult life, obviously.
Yeah.
So my grandmother, who, all the if there's any old listeners listening to this, you obviously knew my grandmother was she passed away in 2022, but she was talked about a lot on this podcast, and it was always kind of a joke because I always said she's like the one person that I didn't want to hear this because I say fuck so much, and we always got a big kick out of that, and I think the listeners always like that too. But with my grandmother, being older when she passed away, and you know, it wasn't like she obviously saw, how you see stuff on TV and all the stuff, but she would say that, you're what my grandfather wouldn't like is that back then the police, like, they helped people. People weren't scared of the police. Like, historically, obviously, yes, that would be fucking naive of me to say. There's obviously been issues. So I don't think I'm saying that. There's been historic, but I'm saying overall, and I don't mean that to say in a racial way, but this was a white lady and a white cop. So, we can quote unquote call it white on white crime, if you will. So this was like but people weren't fucking. So that's why that was my point. Like, if people would, I would say, historically, my grandfather was a policeman in like the 50s and the 60s, but where he was a railroad cop, people weren't, they weren't scared. Like, they weren't scared of getting pulled over and thinking like, holy shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, people weren't fucking, and that's what she would say that like he wouldn't like now. He said it's almost too, she would always back she was always a big supporter. So it wasn't like, but she didn't like that, the intimidation part of it, because she said that's not what she said. Your grandfather wouldn't have liked that. My grandfather was a Marine in World War II, was a shooting instructor for the Marines. There were some stories they told at his funeral. Like, my grandfather was a badass, and when he needed to be a fucking badass, he was a badass, because there were people telling fucking a lot of stories at his funeral. So, but like, he would not do that in a sense to
Yeah.
just a fucking woman that's uh got expired fucking tags. That's not a threat. You know what I mean? That's my whole point. And it was just, that was just a fucking tough pill to swallow. But when something like that happens, damn it, I couldn't help it. I had to fucking bring it up. It was going to fucking eat at me if I didn't. But moving on, like I said, I'll keep you posted, because I know that's a lot to say moving on to, but there's not much more to say. It was fucked up. And, but I will say this, there was something to lighten the mood, but lighten the mood in a disgruntled way. To say this in the docs, because we were talking about this on the phone today. I don't know if we've ever actually went into this on the podcast, but let's just bring up the time when, and every delivery driver and people that are, in the business, you would totally understand this. But let's just talk about when we had, how much time would you say? 45 minutes of no talking at all.
I think longer than that.
It may have been an hour.
I think
All
it
of us are on the phone, earbuds in. Everybody's so fucking pissed just at their work day that all you're hearing is those fucking grunts. No, not even words, just fucking grunt. Then you'd hear a fucking bulkhead door slam. It literally was all. It was a repeat. I've wanted to make a video to that somehow, but I was like, there's no way to make a fucking video for it because it would have to be shrunk down so much. But I've always thought for any fucking, I've always wanted to bring that up because I feel like the cardboard community and all the fucking drivers out there that they would get a kick out of that. People that wouldn't be are able to be on the phone talking while they're working probably wouldn't understand. But anybody in our business had to fucking, I'm sure, gets a fucking kick out of that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's like Luke said. We'll keep you updated on that and find out exactly what happens with this guy because that was crazy. But anyways,
I know. Sorry to drop that bomb on you the day before we record, but
I know this is tough, man. You like dropped the whole video and everything on me right before this whole
I know,
podcast.
dude. I know.
I'm just like, I don't even know what to think right now, man.
Thinking about that, I'm like, dude, Nate, no pressure. You're coming on as a guest. We've been trying to do it, get you on as a guest for years. And now we finally did after all this time. Just let me blow your mind real fucking quick before we get on. Yeah, that might not have been the best. But yeah, I didn't even think of that.
That's a doozy.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Blame my low techiness. I couldn't send it. I couldn't do it early, man. It was just yeah.
Oh, no.
I love it. I love it. So yeah. And Nate, how was your week, bud?
This week was pretty good. This week was nice. It wasn't as hectic as the last month has been for me.
There you go.
Did Prime Day whip your guys' ass pretty bad? It got us.
Yeah. I felt like it was even before Prime Day. I was getting it, but yeah, it was a little mini peak season at our building.
Yeah. It was.
Fucking vacations, man. That's what it's been here.
Oh, that's
Right,
true.
yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about that. I'm sure we had tons of people on vacation too.
Fuck.
Yeah. So there's been some changes too, right? I mean, I've seen it on a couple Facebook groups. Nate told me his building has now gotten rid of it. And that's the map feature where you can no longer click into the map, right, Nate?
Right, correct. Yeah, I'm like a super visual person, so the map was a very big feature for me and a couple other drivers that I, talked to quite a bit, and it's been I've almost had to kind of rethink or like not rethink but like retrain my brain on how I'm thinking about doing the route now, and it's been difficult. I can't just pull the map up and see what's around. Now I have to go through the whole manifest, the whole list there, and make sure I'm not skipping anything or whatever because Orion's all screwed up. And
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
The visual shit, dude. It does like not even just the routine of something you're so used to. Like luckily for me, because if they're getting rid of the maps, I guess it'll be coming soon. But I've always just used the classic format that shows like 17 stops. It's the small print.
Yep.
I always get fucking shit for that at my building, but fuck it, I like it. So I've always kept that.
Yeah.
But when I quit wearing a pouch because I mean, talk about this is fucking comedic because I had to stop wearing a belt because I had this like I went to the dermatologist, but I had like a nickel allergy, they called it, but it was I don't know what the fuck it was. It was something other than that. But so basically, me being fucking my gut, unfortunately, was not small enough to like be behind my belt, but at the same time not big enough to be hanging over too much. So it literally like would push the fucking belt on top of my like I ended up just dude, it itched. It was like a fucking I quit wearing a belt and it went away. But the fucking problem with that is you don't have a belt on, you can't wear a pouch. So You know, the new shorts have like the side pockets, so that's what I use. But that was a fucking like a 3 week adjustment. That fucked with me for a while, but you'll
Yeah.
get used to it, man. But it does
Yeah.
suck when your routine gets fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my truck's been out for a paint job since like the beginning of June. And here we are, August 2nd, recording this episode right now. And dude, it's got like all my old diad clips in it and everything like that I would use. And it's the same thing because well, I probably could go to the office and just get a new one if I really wanted to, but I haven't for some fucking reason. And so it's the same thing. Like I've been putting my diad in my side pocket in my shorts. And like I said, relearning and training yourself to like do something is, I mean,
Dude, they're
again,
painting Dave's truck with a fucking toothbrush, man. When this episode gets released, that truck isn't still gonna be fucking. You're still gonna be driving random shit.
dude, sucks.
I've never seen a fucking truck sit so long for a fucking paint job. And you said it wasn't even bad, right?
It's 2019. Like it's not that old.
Yeah, fuck. It's not like they wash them anymore anyway. Just a little extra dirt on those things, man. Brown it right up.
Yeah, I think we have like a can of brown paint in our building that we just slap on if we got a little
Yes.
scratch or something.
Spray paint.
Yeah.
Spray,
Yeah,
spray-
that was
spray
always
it in the car.
that was always the alleged,
I
if there was a scuff, just get some brown touch-up paint, be
That's all.
okay.
Yeah,
Not saying anybody's ever done that, but yeah.
Wink, wink.
I can't think of any of our. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think any of our trucks have ever been sent out for a paint job.
Ours used to, but I don't think I don't think we use the place anymore. It is but we used to send them out, but I could be wrong, but as far as I know, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I don't know. I miss it though. It's a good truck. Fucking miss it. Yeah. But anyways, let's get into the guest, huh? I mean, Nate, fucking tell people about yourself, buddy. How did you get started with the
Oh, I know
company?
this.
I think didn't we tell this story a long time ago?
I don't
think
know,
we
but this is
told the
for new
story.
listeners too. It's okay.
All right.
It's round two.
I don't remember what year it would have been. 2015?
Peak
it
season
must
of
have-
2014.
2014. Yeah.
Yes.
So peak season 2014. I don't know if you called me or what the heck happened, but you needed someone to help be your helper.
That's it.
And I don't know. I was pretty young at the time. I don't think I had much going for me. So I was like, yeah, screw it. I'll make some good money. And so I was your helper that peak season. Then after that, in 2015, I got a job in the Hudson facility there. And I took that and worked the local sort for 5 years.
Mhm.
And then started driving after those 5 years. And it's been about almost another 5 years now.
Damn, dude, I didn't realize you worked in the building for 5 years. I don't think I ever knew that. Fuck,
Yeah.
you were in there about as long as I was.
I mean, people would tell me, they're like, I would ask people, should I be a driver or whatever, and they would tell me just, stay in the building, just keep doing or stay where you're at for as long as you can, get that seniority up. So that's I just stuck around for as long as I could, basically doing that.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And here we are.
And then here, Dave's the odd man out. Dave what were you, part-time for like 6 months, or if that?
A month.
A month. Fuck.
I worked the
Look at that.
preload for a month and then started driving. They wanted me to get familiar with the truck, I guess, and just
This fucking guy,
which is
But,
fine.
yeah.
I mean, I probably rather would have been like scrubbing the toilets instead of doing preload, but
Nah, some of the best times ever were on preload. I fucking God, those were. I mean, they were good days, but I also, I don't miss the money that I made from preload. I started out at $850 when I went to preload.
I mean, like the sorting was probably like the fucking best job. Like preloading is like you're the one that's tossing the boxes and packages on the different colored belts and then watching them fucking go. because like you just get familiar with like the height and you don't even have to turn around. You're just like down the chute, the one
We
in the middle right behind you, up top behind you. Like that was sick.
I don't have something like that. Do you have that in your building, Luke? You have like a split belt part?
Yeah, we do. We have
The
a
red belt, the orange belt,
oh no, we don't have the split belt.
like
We
the
How
just
many
sorting
belts?
aisle.
we have we have what they call the donut. Like we have from the preload, we have like 4 or 5 docks,
The
and
donut.
then it goes either to the north side or the south side of the building. But we
So
have
how many
where
belts do you
there's
have in your building?
I think there's just one big ass belt that goes up, that
All up and
goes
down.
both, and then another big ass belt up top, and then there's a chute for the other, like for the unload.
Yeah. Yeah. You have one belt too, right, Nate?
Yeah, but Luke sounds like he's got more than one belt.
I've got 2 big ass belts.
Okay.
But there's only one that goes to the package cars.
Yes, just one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have one belt like Luke said he did. It's just one single belt that runs the whole length of the building.
That's insane.
But I think my building is bigger than. Is your building smaller than Dave's or bigger?
Smaller.
Yeah, so I'm definitely, because I think mine's a little bit bigger than Dave's.
That's what she
With
said.
I'll have to get the count for you. I'll have to get the exact
Sorry.
count of drivers we have. It's not a
Yeah.
lot. 50, maybe.
Yeah, I think we're in the 80 something range. I think I'd have to look into that. It might be upper
Yeah, I might
70s.
be
I
way
can
off
remember.
too.
So before UPS, Nate, um, what were you did paintball? You were on a travel team for paintball? Talk a little bit about that.
Another thing I never fucking knew till today.
Uh, yeah, so I played, it was just for fun, we played tournaments and stuff. I don't know. It wasn't really a travel team. We went up and down the East Coast pretty much, and that was it. That's where we traveled to. But it was a lot of fun. Uh, yeah, we just shooting people with paintballs.
Did you have like sponsorships and shit?
Oh yeah, yep. Yep, depending on what team you're playing on, usually the team would have certain sponsors that, whether the sponsor paid for your paint or
I
maybe
mean,
your
that's fucking
photos
sick,
or
dude.
Dude, you guys would have smoked me because my little brother I had like one just fucking like Walmart brand single shot. See, like I'm sure whatever it would have probably been
Fucking
like bringing
Titman
fucking BB
pump
gun
gun
to a
there.
fucking 44 Magnum or something.
yeah. Hey man, it's fun like that. It's fun. I miss the old days playing with the pump guns or the Titman 98s, just the single shotguns. Those are fun.
Those things got a lot of power behind them, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I got memories of those.
It's been so long, man, but I definitely, yeah, I think paintball. I hope for every person that they have a little pastime with it because it is fun as fuck. I probably
Yeah.
only played. I didn't play that much. I probably played like maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. It was in a quick stretch too, but man, I'll tell you, I'll give my one paintball story that I actually have that was good. We were like of all times, so we had a creek that went through our backyard. It was Buffalo Creek, and it's not like it it's a decent sized body of water. When it gets a little rain, it can look like a river. You know what I mean? It's not like. So it was dark, and we were fucking. It was like 4 on 4, completely dark. No fucking like strategy. We're just shooting in the direction we're hearing noise. Well, nobody's wearing any eye protection or anything.
Oh
You know what I
no.
mean? And somebody, I think, if I can remember right, like nobody lost an eye or anything, but it was like I want to say it was like my little brother's friend, or maybe it was our cousin. I forget who the fuck it was, but somebody got hit like right here. and went fucking nuts. And nobody who ever shot at him, it was literally a shot in the dark.
Nobody knew who they.
And yeah, it was a fucking shot in the dark. And that was like, yeah, after that, we got kind of in trouble. Yeah, it was my little brother's friend, I think. Man, we got reamed for that. And that kind of it sort of turned us off to it after that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's scary, but yeah, you should come
Yeah.
play again. You know, don't
I'll
don't be scared.
I'll come up, dude.
Yeah,
But
man.
we'll probably hike before we play paintball.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But I'd be down.
yeah, man.
I mean, dude, like that's fucking sick though. And just I don't know, just any type of traveling and playing in a competitive sport is gets those competitive juices going, man.
Yeah, it does something to you for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You gotta have some kind of pastime or hobby.
Exactly. Exactly. So what was crazy was I believe we share the same mountain range, right? Or the same. Would it be called mountain range? No, it'd be called
Well, I don't
mountain.
know. It's the
It's
Appalachian
the fucking
Mountains, but
Appalachian.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's funny. All of our accents, we probably all three would say it different, but yeah, Appalachian, whatever you want to call it. But yes,
Pause it.
that
Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Because we were on the phone yesterday and today, and you said it so different, and I wasn't gonna say anything because I know it's just the way you are in your accent. But can you say uh habanero?
habanero,
Habanero?
habanero,
Habanero?
habanero, habanero. Is it habanero?
Yeah, that's good. Habanero.
Habanero
we're-
peppers. And
what if-
and every time I heard you say like, yeah, this woman gave us some habanero, or you added like a J or
Habanero.
something in there. I was cracking up talking about our accents all being different. You're like habanero. You're
Dude,
like yarrow.
And the funny thing was is that she was dead serious in telling me to not give that
Ah.
habanero, whatever we'll say.
Fine.
She told me, she was like,
Back first exception.
make sure you're yeah, right. She was like, make sure you don't give this to your daughter. And I was like, damn, I'm
No
not
shit.
gonna give my daughter the habanero peppers to just
Nah.
fucking munch down. But anyway, yeah, about that, man. God, that was a plus. I had a good week this week. I know
There you go.
this is way before or after when you'll hear this, but had a giving week. Got some peppers, had some drinks. It was good.
Good.
It was good.
Yes. So yeah, so anyway, sorry. Back to we were gonna get into hiking. I mean that's something that Nate's been really into, and if you guys go follow him on Instagram and whatnot, he posts a lot of awesome hiking nature-esque pics. Nature-esque? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty awesome. So I mean, you've learned a lot just from just the different types of mushrooms and trees and all that stuff. And it was very interesting to me actually when you told me like how there's different mushrooms that grow under like certain trees.
Yes.
And you were saying like certain like so if you know the tree, here, you tell it. Like if you know the tree, you know you can find a certain
I
mushroom.
don't. Well, I don't know. I don't know what trees are what yet, but yeah, basically you got it right. Depending on what trees, usually pine trees. You know, I'm looking for, and I don't know. Just different strains. Could be growing under different trees. That's basically all I know.
Find them ones out there that take you to another galaxy. So I've heard.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I think I know we've talked about it a few times, but that was another thing too because we were also like with starting this back up. That was the thing when Dave was saying too, like Nate has gotten into hiking because like when we were kind of like trying to anybody that would obviously that old team from the first one, everybody's all on good terms. I mean, like I said, if you listen to episode 1, we hashed it out with Bobby and cleared the air and mended fences. So literally everybody is on good terms socially. But the crazy thing, and to say it again, because Nate was always, no matter what, you might not have heard him very much, but fuck if he wasn't there every fucking time too. And rather he might have been there the whole entire time or not, but dude, he was always hopped on, and we talked about this already, so I don't want to get into it too much again. But it was like, it was pretty fucking crazy, the schedule that we fucking did back then to try to to keep shit going weekly. So like with everybody, like hiking especially, being, once I heard that, because I've always loved it, dude, you obviously know that, and that's going to be the thing we'll end up I know that'll be the thing we'll end up doing whenever we see each other again. But it it is it's therapeutic so much to be in nature, and I hope that people, like, it's hard to explain. I mean, I wouldn't ask you to explain it. You could say whatever you want to in your whole, but I have a hard time trying to, like, it's just something about being out there, and you're getting exercise, but it's it's also scenic, but it's just fucking peaceful, man. It's like very tranquil, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Definitely. I think everybody should try it.
And so, because you had a, I don't even know how many accidents or broken bones or whatever you want to call them. I mean, I still remember one time when our families went to Virginia Beach, and it's like the first day there, you went out there on what do they call them, skimboarding.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you where like where you run and you throw the board down like in the shallow end, and you go to ride it or whatever, and Nate fucking wrecked. And like, what'd you do? You broke your wrist? You broke?
Well, I broke my hand. Well, I broke my two fingers, but in my palm area, I guess.
Yeah,
So it
just
was like
like,
my hand. I broke my hand basically.
yeah, you were
Day
like what,
one.
16?
Uh,
No,
I don't remember
probably older.
honestly. Maybe
Prob
That's
not.
not. That's never a good way to start a vacation, though.
No.
No, they told me to take some Tylenol. I was like, "Oh, okay."
See, that's you being that's you being the very last fucking strain of the millennials, dude. That's what I mean. It was probably the next year they were really starting to coddle the fucking. That's why that's the
Probably.
very fucking tail end of the millennials, man, and that just proved it right there.
Right. So like having, broken bones here, there, everywhere. Um, Obviously doing this job is hard enough on our bodies,
Yeah.
and getting in and out of the truck on your knees, uh your back, your arms, and whatever, like all the muscles that we use, all the parts that we use to do this job. You said hiking has really helped you physically.
Yeah, I think it's like strengthened my muscles or something. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint it. But normally I'd be very sore after work almost every day, you know.
Yeah.
And then so on the weekends I would just sit around and try to just, heal from the week and stuff. And I felt like shit though every Monday for some reason. I felt like shit, and then as the week went on, I would start feeling better, And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I just, narrowed or figured out that it's just because I'm sitting around too much. So it's started hiking, and the whole everything's changed. Like I got I'm not as sore anymore, if at all. And yeah, I don't really know what it did, but it helped me.
That's awesome.
Alleviated a lot of stuff.
That's like I've always said, I love my dad, so I don't like to say it. I'm not saying it in a negative way, but that's why, because I still, spar and shit and try to work out as much as I can. And part of that's because my dad, God bless me, just got a second knee surgery done. but he didn't exercise that much, and he worked. He was kind of in a way a delivery guy, but he was more of a salesman. So he didn't. His job was a lot of driving, but he, that was always one thing I've thought, like when I work out and move, I feel so much better. Like there's times when you got to take a rest. And
Yeah.
I mean, and I know you have to now, even, the age you are now, but when you get, once you get more seasoned, get up to staring 40 in the face, like unfortunately I am, I'm like, man, because there's a lot of shit. Like I like to jog. I still enjoy jogging, but I'm like, oh my God, wait, my fucking knees. I got to make sure it just, but yeah, it's important if you do that and stay active, it's gonna, it's gonna improve your energy level and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nah, man, that's awesome. So anybody that's like dealing with that shit, and I mean, like, I'm sure there's people that can even relate. Like, I mean, I know we've seen pictures on people that we follow on the Instagram page of people hiking and getting out there, and I'm sure they know that too. And a lot of people work out. Oh shit, is my mic still on? Can you guys hear me?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's on.
That was weird. I couldn't hear myself. But yeah, like, sorry about that
We'll
technical
just cut
difficulties
that.
here.
We'll cut that part out. So.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we'll snip snip. Um, but yeah, like a lot of people too. Like, I mean, even shout out to like Daniel the Warrior. Like that dude's grinding away, man, and just like doing his thing and working out so much. And I'm sure it helps him with the job. I don't know. I need to be more active.
Dude, I mean, Daniel the Warrior is a beast, man. You don't have to try to set the bar to that level.
We need to get him on the
You
podcast.
start. We do need to get him back on the. But yeah, to start out, you don't want to start out at Daniel the Warrior level because you'll be sore as fuck for days.
Yeah.
You got to ease into that kind of shit. But yeah, he definitely, dude. I love he. I feel like because I haven't seen a whole lot. I don't know if Silvio's still working, or we still got our Hawk, man. But I think Silvio's close to retiring, or maybe he did retire. But
I just saw him post something like 2 days ago.
When Silvio officially retires, I feel like Daniel the Warrior should take over. Technically, I don't. I mean, I don't know if you can ever replace and be called the Hawk, but he should take over for the next pass the torch, if you will. I mean, I feel like that'd be the ultimate compliment. But Silvio, if you're not ready to pass the torch, by all means, brother, you keep doing what you're doing because you're fucking amazing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You have anything else for Nate, or should we get into the question of the week?
I mean, we got with the last thing I'll ask with hiking, and because I don't know if we've spoke about this on the phone or not. Well, yeah, I know we have, but Rainbow Falls in it is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It was to get to Rainbow Falls is like 6 miles straight up. It was up a fucking mountain. Now, how when the last question with hiking, like, is there a spot you cut off where you'll say like, well, do you eye it out and you're like, fuck this, I'm not doing it, or you just fucking go with it and then just if you get that in your head, you just stay committed? Because I was about at fuck this mode halfway up that Rainbow Falls, but I was like, I've already halfway, I gotta try.
I've had those thoughts and moments, but I actually use a app on my phone that tells me all the information on the trail that I'm usually about to do, and
Hmm.
it tells me how many miles it is, or what's the estimated time that people complete the trail in, and so
See, my
I have a pretty good idea of what I'm walking into, I guess.
my low techiness, I just walk into it
That was a
blind
great
with a walking
pun.
stick. What?
It said, what you just said, you have a good
Oh,
idea of what you're walking into. That was
that
good.
was a good pun.
That was good, bud. I appreciate that one. No, that's awesome though. So like you have an app that like tells you everything about like the mountains or the trails.
Yeah, maybe not all of them, but the main, all the main ones at least.
Hmm. That's hella cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Word.
Yeah,
So,
for question of the week, I'll go ahead and tell. I had two stories, but I'll wait till we're done with the question of the week. I'll make them fast because they're both kind of the same. It has to do not with literal shit boxes, but shit. But yeah, go ahead, Dave. Let's get
yes.
into it.
So, here it is. The question of the week is, what's your shittiest poop box story? Speaking of puns, what's your shittiest poop box story? This one's from the Henry Film Co. What up, Henry Film Co? They said, I have been very lucky. Our local UPS store puts them all in individual bags for us. Honestly, I am glad that is all I have. Interesting. That's nice of them.
I've seen people do that with DR bags when they bring them in to the building to be shipped out with air. And personally, I always think our hands are dirty as fuck. I don't mind touching the shit boxes.
But what if you get shit on your hand?
Wouldn't be the first time. Not with a shit box, but maybe it's just shit. Never
Side
mind.
note, this happened to me yesterday. And like it was like my third stop. I was delivering up in Kohl's. And I had a handcart full of stuff. And I go to use the handicap doors, the doors where you push the button and the doors open
Yeah.
for you. And I got my open hand and I put my hand on top of like the square piece that has the button on it, and I put my hand on the top and I go to push the button with my thumb, not knowing there was a big old fresh bird shit on top of that where I put my hand. And then as I'm walking through Kohl's, I like notice something on my hand and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I go to sniff it and I almost fucking threw up right in the middle of the aisle with my hand cart, like walk into their receiving spot there. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I went into the bathroom real quick and washed that off. But anyways, that was a side shit on hand story. This next one is from the John Waddell. What up, Johnny? It says, I can't imagine being the driver that has to deliver all of those to the lab. I hope it's the first stop, loaded RDC. I think we talked about this one time.
What if it was a heavy box that like 140 pounds just fell on top of them and just exploded?
Oh no, dude. See, like that's what I'm saying though. Like when they go to the lab, I mean, we see so many in our building. I'm sure every building sees a lot. Like that's got to be tractor trailers full of shit.
Of shit.
Like it's got to be tractor trailers full of shit.
Yeah, and they're probably. I mean, that shit's temperature sensitive. Apparently,
Come on.
I've heard they are, man. I don't know how they can't be, but I guess they fucking are, dude. There's no way they can't. There's no fucking way.
I mean, the poop comes out warm, so what do you mean it's gotta be?
I don't know, man. I just the requirements that you hear. I don't know. People are so fucking weird with them, but that's a whole nother fucking story. I want to save. I actually do have a shitbox story, but I'll wait till the end for that. Obviously,
That's insane. That's insane. I'm very interested to know if that's actually true or not. If they're temperature sensitive. Next one is from is this Cam? Sow.
Yeah, that's Cam.
God damn it. S Owl A says, says picked up a soggy wet. I feel like I need glasses to read this. Pick up the soggy wet
Dilapidated.
I've never heard that word before in my life, Cam. What the fuck?
He was homeschooled. I had to say. Public school system fucking sucks now. I think it sucked when I was in school too.
Not my mother's fault, okay? I dropped out before 12th grade. I got my G. Okay. Dilapidated box on a rainy day in January at the store. Loaded it onto my 8,000 shelf when I noticed it was dripping wet. Oh no. I also noticed a camo slash slime like color dripped on my hand. I smelled my hand, but I knew I shouldn't. But I did anyway, like a dang fool. Smelled like shit. And it was my birthday. I'll never forget.
Dude, happy birthday. What a birthday present that is in
Oh my God.
2008.
So he
Wow.
says, don't touch, leave the area, notify supervisor, hazmat leaking and generating fumes.
Dude,
Ah, I don't
that
think
was
I
bad.
ever put a poop box on the shelf. All the
I
poop
think I
boxes
do.
stay on the floor.
Nah, I put mine on the shelf.
Really?
Yeah, I put them up
No.
with the air. I mean, they're air boxes, so I
Yeah, but
just
I
throw them up
still
there.
know like a poop box goes like right under the shelf. Like that's just not going on the shelf.
Man, I've had my lunchbox by a poop box before.
Come on, bro. Oh, God damn it. This
I don't
one's
s-
from
I don't see anything about it being temperature sensitive.
I don't think it
Nick's doing
is.
research over here.
I think it was something to just I think I manifested it in my own head.
I
That's a great
downloaded the
shit.
whole instruction manual.
Cola
Honestly,
guard?
Dude, I
yeah.
love that. I love that you just downloaded the instruction manual. That's incredible.
This next one is from Old Bald Bearded Bastard. What's up, Old Bald Bearded Bastard? Says, I was sent to an OCA pickup way out of my area because the driver that ran it was already back at the building by 3 o'clock. When I got there, they didn't leave it on the porch and didn't look like anyone was home. Eventually, someone came to the door and had to go back to get the box. When they handed it to me, it was hot as fuck. I looked at them and asked, did you just squeeze it out? Felt like it was baked at 400 degrees for 45 minutes.
Oh, dude.
It
Don't you just
says
love it?
it says in the instructions that it has to be the same day or at least the next day or something like that.
Because it gets
So
ruined.
it does gotta be pretty fresh.
Well, I'd say with old bald bearded bastard, if it was baked at 400 degrees, he might have been able to squeeze an extra day out of that one. But dude, I mean, the worst part about that, I think, too, is the driver is supposed to get it gets done at 3 p.m. That's always a swift kick
I
in the
know that
fucking
was
balls.
the sigh that I released after I
Oh,
read
I
that.
know,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I fucking felt that
Code
one.
5 guy. Next one is from Porno Parcel. Our guy. What's up? Says I only deliver businesses now, but when I go to the air meet point and I see 3 shit boxes, I start to juggle them and just shout, how much shit have y'all juggled in your lives? It's no wonder why the fucking circus wouldn't hire me in 2006.
Well, it was their fucking loss, brother. I can promise you that.
Oh, hell yes.
Dude, I mean, I'm not shocked. I've never juggled them, but I can say my shitbox story that I had because one time, as convenient as it was actually when I was delivering in Monongah, where we were talking about earlier with all the craziness. But there's a street and houses on both sides, but it's like the main road
Mhm.
going through town. And I had a delivery that was like a bulk stop. It was residential, but they had like seven or eight packages, and I was doing that, and this lady from across the road came over, and I could see the shit box. We all know what they look like, and
Mhm.
she just said, "Hey, can I leave this with you?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah." I just set it right there on the. I was like, "Put it on the seat, and I'll grab it." So I'd grabbed. I'd scanned the rest of what I had, delivered it, and I was going to put scan that, shit box as a walk up pickup. And I look at the label, and the label is the fucking. They didn't put the return label on it. It was still the label that it was going to. So I was like, "Fuck me, I'm not." I was like, "If I take this is just going to get delivered here again." So
Go right back.
it's literally right across the road. So I walk over and I knock on the door. She went back into the fucking house. I knock on the door, nothing. Like knock, knock, knock. UPS. Hey, I can't take this. I need an outgoing label. If you don't answer, it's going to come. Like it was like summer, so the windows were open, and I don't
Yeah.
know if it was like her husband or son, but some fucking guy like cracked the door open. I didn't even see his face. He's like, "What do you want?" I was like, I had a pick. I was like, I just got a pickup from here, but I can't take it because the label has it coming back here. It'll just he said just put it on the porch. I was like, yeah, no problem, buddy. But yeah, that was my one shitbox story.
Yeah, no problem.
I got to give one more because this is my favorite shit story that I have. I had two, so for time constraints, I'll just do my favorite one here because I gave a shitbox story, and this is the better one of the two. When I was a cover driver, it was on a Friday, and as we all know, being younger buck cover drivers, I mean, I think anybody on a Friday gets a little pep in their step, but I I had a little too much pep in my step at the end of this day, and I had to take a shit. And there was a building that had 4 or 5 floors on it, business building, a little duplex, whatever you want to call it, complex. And I knew on the 4th floor they were remodeling, so there was nobody up there. I This is also summertime. When I say I have to shit, I'm talking like fucking code 5 emergency. And this route that I'm on, I can't go shit in the woods. I'm not in that part of West by God, Virginia. I'm right in the middle of fucking like downtown Morgantown. So there's nowhere for me like that to go. I run into the 4th floor, and I don't pay attention to how fucking hot it is in there because there's no power on. I run to the fucking toilet, and I see a thing of toilet paper that's still, purchased, still in the fucking, like we would take to our houses, buy from the store. I'm like, "Oh, great, fresh toilet paper." I don't think anything of it because I mean that was fucking emergency. I take a shit. Do my business finish. I stand up. There's no water in this toilet. And I'm like, holy shit. I go to get down to turn the water on. Nothing. Nothing. There's no water. There's no power. There's no nothing, dude. This fucking floor is getting redone. The door was unlocked. I just busted in there like a fucking bandit and had to shit. And it it was so hot in there because there was no AC
Oh
running
my
or nothing
God.
and I was a covered driver, so I didn't go there on Monday. But I've wondered this my entire career of like how bad that had to smell on fucking Monday. But it was just and there
Was there
wasn't even like a door on the bathroom. I just ran in. Like this whole place was completely stripped down.
Yo, those workers came in on Monday and was like,
oh,
what is
no.
that smell? Taking
Dude,
a poop in an empty toilet.
they had to hate their lives, man. I've always felt bad for whoever had
And
to work in
how
there.
hot it was. Fuck.
There was no like signs or anything up.
Well, I knew that it was under the business that was there had moved out, and I knew that the floor was vacant. I just didn't really realize how vacant that it was, and so there wasn't any signs. No, like there was just no like they they had there like there was a code to use the elevator. So
Mm,
I knew the code,
mm,
so there was not like they didn't really need they didn't need a sign or anything like that.
mm.
And even if they would have, I don't know what I would have done, dude. I was so desperate, I probably would have fucking done it any. That's my, that's my, that's my
Oh
best shit
no.
story.
I don't have a story like
I
that.
don't think I do either.
Well, I'm glad.
Fuck.
I'm glad you guys don't. It's an experience you don't want to live because you really feel uncomfortable.
God.
You really hope that nobody
I mean,
walks in.
there was one time I had to take a poop and out on my older out. Oh, my older out. And it was at one of the farm stands. And they were like, yeah, the toilet's upstairs. And it was like, this old shack thing. and there was no air conditioning up there. And again, like Luke was saying, but when I went, it was also a hot day. And it was just one of those times when you're just sitting there pooping, and you just start sweating. And that I feel like that's one of the worst. Like that's one of the worst things. You're just sitting there, and it's so hot up there because there's no air conditioning up in the top of this like a little shack place. I mean, it had running water and shit, but like.
Right.
You're just drenched, dripping in sweat, taking a shit. It's probably like the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
When you're sweating, taking a shit.
Wait, it is dude, that was I
You
always
could
say
go to wipe and you're just wiping sweat off your ass with it, and the toilet paper falls apart. You're like,
dude,
oh God.
when we went to Jamboree in the Hills, I was at Jamboree in the Hills. They don't have it anymore. Fucking was an amazing fucking time, but you would have to shit in the Porta Johns, and it was July, so it was fucking hot. And yeah, you don't like being sweaty and shitting just is never good.
No bueno.
You guys shit every day at work?
No.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
My
either.
routine's in the morning and at night,
Okay. Yeah.
before and
Same.
after. But there's the occasional, if you got like the Taco Bell before, like the night before, it may fuck you up a little bit.
Sure.
Next thing you know, you got to shit at noon, and you're like, fuck me.
Right.
Yep. But awesome. Thank you guys for the question of the week. Everybody that chimed in there. Fucking awesome.
Yeah,
We're going to
dude.
enjoy putting more of those out weekly again and get back to that because
Absolutely.
it's a lot of fun. So, but anyways, I think that'll do it for episode 3. Nate, thank you, buddy, for coming on and hanging out and
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure.
letting people hear your story there. And Luke, good
First
seeing
guest
you
of
again, buddy.
round 2, man. It's fucking.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, man. Absolutely.
With more guests to come. And thank you guys for listening and being a part of this because this is what it's all about. So thank you guys very much. We will see y'all next week.
Later, everybody.